Fire noise.
Fire noise.
What is going on, everybody? What is going on? Welcome to this week's episode 93 of the STS Guys. I am Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
Hey guys, it's Nate.
And I'm Scott.
And we are the STS Guys, a weekly podcast where we sit around, shoot the shit, and talk about anything geeky, nerdy, and cool. What is going on this week, guys? Like, so we're coming to you on a Friday.
This is different.
This is
First time.
Switching it up for me.
Yeah.
This feels weird and awkward and very.
The sun is still up. I don't like it.
Yeah, early and on a Friday.
I don't know what's going on here. Well,
You get such a routine that.
I
Go
know
ahead.
what's going on. It's my fault.
Yeah, you get into a routine and it kind of like I wasn't ready for it at first. I'm like, I got to get prepared for this. This is a little early.
Same.
I was at the store and I was like, oh crap, I have to get home.
But it's a special episode
It is.
because we're talking San Diego Comic-Con.
Woo, woo.
You can say it's been an epic week.
You know what? It's actually been 2 weeks since we last were on. So
That is true.
it's been weeks.
2 weeks.
Would it
My
be?
brain
It's
is
been
still
a
in
week.
SDCC mode.
So basically this episode's just one giant it's been a week, right? Because we're going to tell the stories
basically.
all about what we did the last week and a half.
Yes.
There's some great stories here. Like I don't even know how to like summarize this like into like one episode. Even we're gonna try to do it, but like I said, I think this was.
Yeah.
I'm gonna call this out right now. Like I said, I'm putting an STS Guys vote out. I'm saying it was the most epic San Diego Comic-Con that I've ever been to.
Agreed.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I agree. It's hard to choose a favorite, but this one was really cool.
No, there was laughter, there was tears, there was happy,
There was many beers.
and there was,
Massive crowds.
I made a rhyme.
I know. Well, if you follow Scott or I on social media, TX Germ here, Scott at Scott STS Guys. I said you'll notice. I said we posted a couple pictures of our drinking. I said,
Our tower of power.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Built a pretty epic tower of power at an event. So like I said, it's, you know what? There were beers. I'll bring the beers. So guys, like I said, let's kick it off. Let's talk San Diego Comic-Con. So who wants to kick us off? Well, first,
So let's talk about kind of the game that we decided to play here, because I'm a big fan of some games, and I know y'all like some games too. So Larry and I were talking, and he came up with this awesome idea for a game. Everyone knows it. It's Two Truths and a Lie. Larry, kick us off. What are the rules? What's going on?
All right. So this is an interactive game, right? We're each going to go around. We thought it'd be a good way to share some of our experiences with San Diego Comic-Con last week and give everybody in the chat a chance to win some prizes. So I'll say 3 things, right? 2 of them are true. 1 of them's a lie. The first person in the chat who guesses it right, which one is the lie, is going to win one of our San Diego Comic-Con exclusive STS Guys enamel pins, hand numbered to
by
100,
Larry.
right? So limited edition. We've got a few of these left, and then they're gone. So this is this is your one chance to get one if you didn't meet up with us in San Diego. I held a few back just to do a little giveaway live for our fans that joined the live streams. And you know what? I've got 5 of them. So if you're an audio listener and you go on SoundCloud, just leave a comment, any comment.
Anything.
And after the end of the week, we'll pick one winner.
You know what?
Next podcast.
I want to amend this. I want a specific comment.
What do you want, Scott?
The specific comment, I got to go. Ed, I'm going to give you a little shout out here. The comment I want is I want you to put butt wasted. That's BUTT wasted. That's what I want you to comment. Comment butt wasted on the SoundCloud, and I will send you a pin.
So, well, we're gonna pick one person to get a pin.
Yeah.
So-
Well, yeah. We'll pick one.
Yeah. So easy, right? So it means 5 people are going to win a pin, limited to 100. So again, this is your one shot to get an STS Guys pin, guys.
These are first edition pins too, so I think,
Oh yeah,
I
good
think
point.
I think this is now going to become, I said, an SDCC tradition for the for the SDS guys. So this is, I said, this is your ground floor. This is first edition. This is, I said, this is. So every year, you know, like, just like Funko kind of increases their numbers in regards to their limited pops. I think the STS guys are going to do the same thing. So this first run limited to 100.
Jeremy, would you say it's the inaugural pin? Call back to episode 1, baby.
It's an epic pin. These were all personally handled and numbered by Larry of the STS guys. So not only will you get a cool pin, he touched it himself.
Nate kissed everyone
on the mouth.
With
on the mouth, sometimes with a little tongue. You have to decide which one's which.
Yeah, that's why Nate, you know, is having trouble speaking right now. You know, all like a little sharp from the pin.
But they're pretty cool. I didn't reveal. We revealed them on the podcast, but I posted up on our Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook earlier today. So if you haven't seen them, go check us out at STS Guys on Instagram or Twitter, at the STS Guys on Facebook, and you can check out these awesome pins. We're definitely gonna do a different colorway next San Diego. So if you got an idea on a colorway, let us know in the chat or send me a message and let me know what you'd like to see.
Question:
These are classic STS Guys green.
Yeah. Question chat for the pins. Is it international? Yeah, we can do this.
Sure, we got you.
We got you, international crowd.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to give a quick shout out to DC Figs and Collectibles podcast. I listened to their last episode, which was SDCC coverage, and they gave us a shout out. They said they really liked our coverage. They got to see a lot of cool stuff in our stories and our posts. So thank you, Tyler. Thank you, Scott, for the shout out. We appreciate it.
Yes, that was a great episode.
It was.
Yeah, it was.
So, thank you, guys.
Yeah, thanks, guys. We always love shout outs.
Honestly, we love our podcasting family and community. Like I just want to throw that out there. Like I said, we said during this entire trip, like I said, I think it's one of those things where we got to interact with some our great online friends from different podcasts, and so we got to interact with, you know, Mike and Josh from Talking Pops. We got to interact with, you know, all the Secondary Heroes podcast. So definitely check them out. We got to interact with Clint from Clint's podcast. We got to interact with Rick from Pop Collectors Alliance. So like I said, it was a giant meetup of podcast proportions.
We saw Christina from Geek Responsibly. We saw and talked to I think most of the Funko Funcast crew too. So that's always a good time.
All but one, I think, that we were able to.
Yeah, I don't think I ever actually said. I don't think I verbally spoke to Cameron. I saw him walk by a couple times, but we talked to everybody else, gave him pins. So it was cool.
No, so I am looking forward to our discussion. So, Larry, I said, do you want to explain the rules?
Like one more time,
real quick.
Let's just go real quick.
We're each going to name 3 things. 2 of them are truthful. 1 of them's a lie. Chat, people playing at home, you need to decide which one of the 3 things is a lie. First person who we see say which one is the incorrect one. Right? You can just do 1, 2, 3. Right? So first, second, third. Just comment 1, 2, or 3, and first one we see that's a correct answer. Our judgment, right? Whatever pops up on our screens is going to be the winner, and you're going to win again this awesome STS Guys enamel pin, limited edition.
All right. So who wants to go first?
I think Scott should go first.
Scott,
all right, I got to go first.
Yeah.
All right,
going first.
So okay, I actually have them written down so I wouldn't like freeze up or forget them here.
Look at that too. Show prep.
Yep, that it literally was a stick. It's the sticky note that I have with my my stuff written down on it here. So all right, so 2 truths and a lie. First person in the text to figure out which one is the lie is gonna win that pin. So 3 stories. Number 1, I shared a restroom with a celebrity. Number 2, I showed up to San Diego at a hotel and was told I did not have a room. And number 3, I was able to go onto the IMDb boat on Saturday and meet the cast of Charlie's Angels, the reboot. So was it number 1, number 2, or number 3?
What do you guys think?
There's that nice delay in the chat.
Oh,
There's a good
Tyler.
Tyler, yeah, no, Tyler. We're gonna get it here. We got a couple that are going through. Yeah. So Tyler just dropped in the chat 3. He's the first one. I was not able to get onto the IMDb boat to see it, so I had to watch it on the Jumbotron from like the bottom floor. Everything else was a true occurrence that happened during San Diego Comic-Con.
All right, so Scott, I for some reason I don't know. I said that one of these stores I don't know.
Which one was that one? The bathroom?
Who'd you share the crapper with?
So I was in the bathroom and I turned around to leave, and a guy comes in, and it was at first I just thought, like, because it kind of looked similar to like the beard stuff, I thought it was LeVar Burton. But it turns out it was voice of Cyborg, Carrie Payton. Larry was like, "Are you sure it's not him?" and pulled up his picture, and I was like, "Oh, hot damn!" I peed next to that guy.
Did you let out a booyah?
You know what? Had I, like I told you when I was first in there, I was like, "That could be LeVar Burton." So yelling "booyah" at LeVar Burton while he peed probably wouldn't have gone over very well.
The Reading Rainbow.
Yeah. And again, if I sang the Reading Rainbow song to the wrong guy,
like
that would have been mighty embarrassing.
Yeah. No, that was a good story, man.
So,
That was funny.
Shout out to Tyler. Congrats, Tyler.
Yeah,
Congrats, Tyler.
We'll get you a pin sent out.
You got to tell the number 2 story.
Okay,
too.
so
what
number
happened
2
with
story.
the hotel, dude?
So yeah, I show up. The hotel I got in the lottery was Town and Country. So I drive my happy ass over to the Town and Country, walk up and say, "I would like my hotel room, please. Here's my information." And the response back to the person was, "We don't have a reservation under that name for you." And my first response was, "The fuck you don't. I have a confirmation. Here is my confirmation that says Town and Country." And so they called the On Peak people.
Yeah.
And after like 30 minutes of waiting, and I'm pacing, like I was furious. They tell me like, "Oh yeah, a couple days ago they did some rearranging. You're now down at the Hampton Inn near the airport." And apparently no one decided to tell me that 2 days before I was supposed to be there, they changed my hotel.
I would be fuming.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, to be fair, I got a suite at the other hotel when I got there, so they did upgrade me. But yeah, that was Larry can contest. When I got to his hotel room to go to Fun Days, I was not a happy boy.
Yeah, that was like, you texted us and you're like, "Dude, I might not have a room." I've been to Comic-Con a few times. Like that's always nothing else really makes me nervous anymore. But like going to check into the hotel always makes me nervous. I don't know why. I guess that's why.
Now you know why.
But that's the first time I've ever heard about On Peak like changing a reservation like that. I've heard of people like showing up and not have like the hotel gave away all the rooms for some reason.
Right.
I actually saw that in person a couple years ago. But like I've never heard of them being, "Oh no, you're not staying here anymore. You're way over there."
Yeah.
It's crazy.
It was the weirdest thing. Again, I was mad.
Oh yeah.
But to give it back to On Peak,
just thank God they
hooked it up with a suite. Yeah, they had a room. They got it to me, and it was a suite, which I had brought my wife and daughter, so it was closer to the beach. So like it worked out for me, but it was also the like most stress-inducing situation I've ever been in going to a con.
Yeah, there's nothing worse than driving all day and then getting the news that, hey, maybe I don't have a room.
Right.
Well,
and I was like, I guess do I have my wife and kid turn around and drive home? Like, what do I do?
Yeah, because every room in San Diego, like San Diego proper at least, it's booked. Because we're talking Friday night, right? Friday night, Saturday night, the 2 prime nights were the 2 nights you needed. There's no way you were going to find a room if this didn't work out.
I talked to a guy at my hotel and he was like, "Dude, the rates are crazy tonight. They're like $450 a night right now."
Yeah,
So it's,
yeah. No.
That's even low. That's
Well, true.
that's-
And I was in hotel circles, so I'm not even right next to the con. But I'm sure in like your guys' hotel or Larry's hotel, it's much more per night if you don't have a reservation.
Well, for a second there, I thought we were just gonna have the party room over at our hotel, because it was me, Larry, and then shout out to Ian Doge. I said in a room together. I thought we were just gonna have, like I said, the party room,
The whole happy family showing up.
the whole happy family. You know what? We would have made it work. You know what? We would have made it work, because you know what?
Mattresses.
Funko means family.
Yeah.
So Noddity's oddities. So she has anxiety about that every time I go to a hotel. Yeah, like I didn't before, but now I think about it. Like every time I go to a hotel, I'm like, these motherfuckers better have my reservation.
And
Right,
Buttwaist
scarred
says,
for life.
I'm really surprised you guys all didn't stay in the same hotel together.
We tried.
A lot of that is like the hotel raffle. You don't really know what you're going to get. You put in your top picks, and then you just get what you get. So you have to take the rooms that you're kind of provided.
Right.
Which was 3 different hotels for the 3 of us that tried.
Now, given the distance, the original hotel I would have been really close to Nate's, but the new one I had was all the way over closer to Mission Beach, so I was a little farther away than I originally had planned, but closer to the con.
However, I do have to say, I said in regards to hotel game, I really liked where we stayed, where me and Larry stayed. Like it worked out amazingly, and so
you guys were like 100 yards from the start of the con,
super close.
I mean, well, you had programming in your hotel, so you were like right there. Yeah, that's where I ran into Carrie Payton, was in the bathroom of your guys' hotel.
That's right. Right? And didn't you make the choice? You were either going to go up to our room and go to the bathroom, or you were just going to go to the one in the lobby?
Yeah, and I was like, I'll just do the one in the lobby, and then went in there.
Right? You wouldn't have got that story by going up to our room.
It was meant to be.
All right, so who's going next?
All right, let's do Jeremy. Why don't you go?
Yeah. All right, so I got 3 of them right here.
So wait, just real quick, we have a new person, Night Bodega,
jumping on
Manny.
Here. What's going on, Manny?
We got we're doing a 2 truths and a lie. So pick out number 1, 2, or 3 of the lie that Jeremy tells here, and I guess we'll send you, I think, another pin, but we'll send a pin.
I was going to say, I forgot to say before, like if you are in the chat and you already have a pin, we'll send you another one and you win. Or if you want something else, I'll find something else to send you. So feel free to play along, Manny. We're playing 2 truths and a lie.
Yeah.
Perfect. And Jeremy is up.
So here are my 3. So number 1, I said preview night of the convention. Even without having actual tickets to one of the Funko booths, we were actually able to get into the Funko booth. So that's number 1. Number 2, I was able to get second row seating at the Marvel Hall H panel without actually having to camp out for 2 days straight. And then number 3, during Kevin Smith's Hall H panel, I actually got to ask him a question, and he rambled on for 10 minutes regarding my answer.
What do you guys think?
1, 2, or 3?
Or 3.
Which one's the lie?
Whoever guesses first gets the pin.
Ed's thinking number 1. We have Judge Jack saying 2.
Call it out when you see it, Jeremy.
All right, so it's Judge Jack coming in. So the number 2 is the lie. So let me go to the Funko story first. So this one's actually kind of funny, just because it involved like basically Larry probably getting the most exercise that he's ever gotten.
Larry sprinted.
Like he made impressive time.
But wait, though, Larry, you did have to stop. So halfway through your sprint,
I did.
But yeah, Jeremy, go.
Yeah. So it's preview night, right? And so I haven't been to a preview night at San Diego before. For some reason, I just had a misconception as far as what it was. It was packed. Like there were so many people. Like holy cow, there were so many people.
Can I jump in for a second, Jeremy? You guys all were like, "Oh, preview night, we're gonna get so much stuff." Like,
I will say though, in comparison to like Friday, Saturday, preview night is much lighter.
But it's like 80%.
Yeah,
it's still a lot.
It's still a lot of people. Yeah.
there are a lot of people. There's a lot of people.
Well, it's a shorter time, so it's all those people condensed into that time frame.
Yeah,
So
that
everybody
too.
knows-
Before I knew it, like 2 hours had gone by, and there's only an hour left.
Yeah,
Well,
so
it's the race to get what you're after. You know, everybody
so
tries
what
to
ends
get
up
it there.
happening though is so I'm like I have this game plan of stuff that I want, right? So I'm like, you know what? The very first thing I'm gonna do is like I want to go get some fig pins. I said I really like some of those SDCC exclusive fig pins. I'm gonna go line up for the fig pins right away. So we actually had pretty good like positioning, kind of where we're waiting in line. So I'm like, hey, there's actually a chance I may get this. By the time I got there, nope, not gonna happen. All right, so then I gotta hit the reset button. I start going to some of these other booths. So I'm like, you know what? I want some of those mystery boxes from Fugitive Toys because they have a couple mystery boxes going on. So I'm like, oh, and they also have the watermelon the watermelon seed tiny ghost. So I'm like, you know what?
Yeah.
That's gonna be my next stop. It's right next to it's kind of catty corner to the fig pin booth. I'm like, it's perfect. Go over there.
Line.
There's no way I'm getting what I need to from that line. So I'm like, right now I'm starting to feel defeated. So then I just start meandering around the convention. So I go to the primary Funko booth, and like I said, there's a group of select individuals that got to go in there. And so I kind of look out with like puppy dog eyes. I'm like, you know what? They're getting all the cool stuff, and I'm just sitting here getting nothing. But you know what? I'm not going to let that defeat me. I'm going to go check out the rest of these booths because you know what? It's just going to get busier and busier in here. So you know what? Let me go and actually check out some of these other areas. So I go through and I'm kind of making my way through the con. And then, so this year, Funko did something kind of special where they actually had a secondary booth where they launched basically a crossover with SDCC. So basically, some pops, which was basically the ad icon of the toucan, and then also a Batman holding an SDCC bag, and then also a toucan Pez. So I'm like, those were actually out of some of the pops that were listed. Those were probably like the three things that I probably wanted the most. It was up there. It was up there on my list. And so I just start hanging around the outside of the booth. And then, like I said, preview night maybe has like an hour left. And then I overhear one of the employees saying, "Hey, I think we're going to open this up to the general population in a half hour." And so talk about like right place, right time.
As I say, divine intervention that they talked about that.
Yeah, it's like basically
out on the floor.
I had a pop, and I was like, and like I said, and it descended upon me like the gods. Like it's like, you know what, you are meant to have this. And so I text Larry. I'm like Larry, like they're gonna open up. I said they're gonna open up the Funko booth to the general public. And I'm like, they're gonna open up the Funko SDCC booth, but I forgot to put the X in the chat. So Larry's like, oh, that's awesome. It's like, I'm gonna book it over there right now. So Larry,
I was right there. I was at the Nickelodeon booth, which is pretty close to the Funko booth.
Yeah. So Larry goes to the Funko booth, but he goes to the one that's on the opposite side of the convention center of where I'm at. And then
because you need the booths on opposite sides of the
thing. It could not be more further apart.
Right.
Yeah. And so then Larry's like, hey, where are you, dude? I'm sitting here. And I'm like, oh my, no, it's the SDCC, the Funko / SDCC one. And I'm like, and he's like, oh, so I'll be right there. He, literally, it's on a light day, it probably takes like a good 15 minutes to get from one side of the convention to the other. I said, Larry, with Ian Doge in tow, he made this journey fast. Like this journey ended up just going by so fast. I'm like, he booked it over there and was able to actually get in the booth as well. So
nice. It was cool. And on the way to the first Funko booth, I ran into Mike and Josh from Talkin' Pops. So I'm like, guys, I got a hot tip that the Funko booth might be opening soon. So they followed me to the regular Funko booth. And I'm like, oh crap, we got to book it to the other one, guys. So Ian and I raced Mike and Josh to the Funko X SDCC booth. Ian and I totally won. But we all four of us made it in time, and we all got those 3 exclusive Jeremy named. Like Jeremy said, those are 3 of the ones I wanted more than anything. So even though it was super unplanned, it was a great way to start off our con.
Oh yeah, it was super, super, super amazing. Yeah. So my other truth that happened was probably one of the things that I honestly completely 100% just lucked into.
And Jeremy, would you say this is a bucket list item?
This is like I said, this is beyond a bucket list item. So what I'm talking about, it's always been, I said, a bucket list item of mine to one, just have some type of interaction with Kevin Smith. And literally to ask him a question at like either like a Smodcast show, because he takes his podcast on tour or anything, or just in general, just be able to, to interact with him for a little bit, right? And I never get the opportunity. These Smodcast shows, I said, they're about, like I said, 1,000 people or less, so they're not very big shows. And so even in those shows, like I said, I never get the opportunity just because everyone always beats me to it. And so Larry, I said, I'm in the hotel room, and Larry's like saying, "Hey, guess what? You know what you should do? Isn't that Kevin Smith Hall H thing going on here in a couple hours?" I think you need to go to that. I'm like, you know what? You're right. I do need to go to that. So I walk from our hotel, basically go into like the Hall H line. The Hall H line is wrapping around. I'm like, there's no way that I'm going to be able to get into this. Then I said, by the grace of the Comic-Con gods, I said, we had basically the golden ticket of entry, the Miraculous press pass. And the press pass basically holds true, and it's the keys to the kingdom that basically lets you skip that entire line. Which I totally want to try for the Marvel panel next year.
Yeah, I was not aware of that.
Yeah, so you can basically bypass the entire line. So there's probably like 3,000 people in this line by the time I get there, right? And I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna get in this line. So I asked one of the security guys. I'm like, hey, is there like a press entry? And he's like, oh yeah, there actually is a press entry. So you can just go in that entrance over there. Like I said, just wait in this little area here, and then once we start letting people in, so we'll open up that area, so that way you said you can go in too. I'm like, perfect. And so I go in the convention hall, and then Jason Mewes comes out on stage, and he's like talking to the crowd and kind of getting the crowd hyped up as people are filtering in, right? So I'm like, this is gonna be great. And so I'm like, you know what? I want to try to get as close to the stage as possible. But by the time I got to there, like I said, all those seats were taken. I'm like, you know what? I'm like, I'll stand on the side right over here. I said, I can actually get close on the side if I actually just stand here. And so they're not going to throw a fit just because I have that magical golden armor of that press pass, right? And
those things are wonderful. Those things are just great.
It was great. And so then I said, Kevin Smith he comes out real quick and then goes back to the stage just to kind of say hi to everybody, and goes backstage. Then the panel's about to start, and then I see them basically starting to set up a mic. I'm like, I start looking around. I'm like, holy cow! I said, I am in the most prime spot right now. If I wanted to sneak in that question line, I can get in that question line. I'm like, this is perfect. I'm like, I can. This may actually happen. And so so I start looking around me. There's no one even attempting to get up because there's no sign of them even putting up this mic until like the very last minute. And so I'm like, I bet that's gonna be for questions. And they didn't have time to set up one on the opposite side of the hall. So there was only one mic open for questions at all in the entire Hall H. And if you haven't seen Hall H before, like I said, it's huge.
Like massive.
Like 6,000 people.
Gigantic. It's gigantic. So normally I said when they do questions, they have basically one on each side of the hall, but they only had actually one set up. And
think like old school movie theaters where you'd walk in towards the back of the room, and there's like two hallways down, kind of left, right, and you have seats in the middle, and then on the sides. So it's set up like a big old school movie theater.
No, and I'm like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna be able to get to ask. I'm gonna be able to ask a question. So starts his panel. We they play the trailer for Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Crowd goes nuts, and then he asks like, "Hey, do you want to see some footage from the movie?" And then they show some footage. The movie honestly looks hilarious, just because it has all those typical kind of Kevin Smith tropes, throughout the movie, like. Basically, Kevin Smith plays Kevin Smith in the movie as one of the characters, and it's fantastic. So one of the scenes that they show is basically a spoof of Hall H in Hall H. So basically, it's Kevin Smith talking in Hall H in the movie that's playing in Hall H talking about Kevin Smith movie. So it's actually really funny.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Got some meta humor in it.
Do you know when it comes out?
It comes out this fall. They're actually doing a limited release, so it only has a couple, because it's actually being done through Fathom Events. So it has a couple-day release, and then Jason Mewes and Kevin Smith are actually going on tour with the movie and actually watching it with the audience throughout some different VIP events that are happening throughout the country, which I also have tickets for.
Well done.
So,
yeah, Scott, they're coming here too. But the VIP tickets were $700.
Oh,
each.
never mind. I say, like, there, are we going then? But
Not
never mind.
VIP at least. Maybe
No.
we should talk about regular.
Yeah,
But
we'll
VIP
look into that. Holy shit!
VIP was triple what it is in Texas.
Yeah,
for some reason.
Crazy.
Dang, that's nuts.
So what you're saying is not everything is bigger in Texas.
I have to do what you did there.
The savings.
Yeah,
So-
there you go.
Two guys. So
Texas.
two guys. I said ask a question, and he starts to ramble on, and I get up there and start to ask my question. And like before I do, I just basically get like I start to ramble on. I'm like, you know what, Kevin Smith, it's awesome. Hey, it's always been a bucket. I even tell him it's been a bucket list item of mine to always basically, ask you a question. I'm like, I tried to ask at a Smodcast show, but I'm like, it's amazing being here in Hall H, being able to ask you a question. And he's like, oh yeah, I know, it's great, man. I'm doing, welcome in here. And then he goes on like a 10-minute tangent about like Hall H and things that have happened in Hall H and his history in Hall H. And it gets to a point where his tangent gets so bad that his daughter, who is also on stage as part of the panel, has to interrupt him to basically say that I haven't even asked my question yet. Basically, what I said was just the preface to the question that I was asking.
And then Jason Mewes left to go pee.
And so, and then you think it would end there, but then he basically continues his Hall H story about the first time the Avengers basically debuted in Hall H, where someone got stabbed in the eye with a compass. Then I get to ask my question, and my question to Kevin Smith was, I'm like, is there an end credit scene in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot? And I said, and we get the confirmation, yes, there is an end credit scene in Reboot. It was, like I said, just to kind of summarize it though, like I said, it's literally probably one of the most amazing things that's ever happened to me. Like I said, being a huge diehard Kevin Smith fan, like I said, I literally could not have imagined, I said, a better experience for Comic-Con this year.
That is pretty epic.
Yeah.
And it was funny because they kind of played up, like you said, he talked for so long, and then Mewes is like, you said, okay, my question is, Mewes is like, all right, it's over. They just kept messing with you about it. It was funny.
Yeah, so we actually have it. So we have. I said I have it recorded, so it's actually, you definitely check out the video on our channel. I'm going to be uploading a high def version of it here. Probably, like I said, later next week. Because actually Kevin Smith he basically he released a high def version of the recorded panel. So shout out. I don't know who the guy was who recorded it for me, but shout out to that guy, because like I said, you did me good. I said it was amazing.
Nice.
So, Jeremy, can I add a little bit to your joy of your situation here?
Yes.
So, your question and his answer was featured in a couple of articles written about the Stan Lee tribute in the credits of the Reboot movie. So, your question not only was on his thing, but like 3 or 4 news outlets have also reported on that information.
What?
Yeah,
That is awesome.
I feel accomplished. Like I said, not only said I might ask a Hall H question, but as I said, these guys, like I said, as my fellow podcasters pointed out earlier this week, I'm also now officially on a Kevin Smith podcast. My voice is on a Kevin Smith podcast. I'm on an official Kevin Smith video now. And then I said all these articles have been generated based upon the question that I asked. So it was amazing.
I think you might take the cake for one of the most epic moments in SDCC history this year, or maybe even in a year that I'm familiar with, because that's pretty awesome to see a hero like that you look up to and a guy that you're a huge fan of get to ask a question and then be part of that history. That's awesome. It's
definitely one of those once in a lifetime opportunities, and literally I could not have asked for a better experience during this Comic-Con.
Nice. So getting back to the game at hand, we have Jeremy's 2 truths. So let's see. Nate. Let's save Larry for last. I think Larry has some good ones. So
yeah,
let's
Larry's
save
probably
for
got
last.
some good ones.
So, Nate.
All right.
3 statements, 2 truths, 1 lie. Go.
All right. Number 1, I had dinner with 30 guys who take photos of toys. Number 2, after getting bumped into on the con floor, I ran into and spilt water on Greg Capullo, famous comic book artist. And number 3, I got to see the whole cast of It Chapter 2.
One,
right,
2,
guys.
or 3, folks, in the chat. We're gonna keep a lookout here and see which one people think it is.
Giving away our 3rd STS Guys enamel pin.
I'm gonna let it go here since there's that little delay. I'm starting to see some answers, but
wasted got number 2 right first.
But Ed, you got it, man. But wasted.
All right, good job,
which,
Ed.
Again, comment but wasted on the SoundCloud, and we will send that pin. But yes, you got one, man. So Clint's asking what's going on. So Clint, you got a chance to get a second pin here. We're doing 2 truths and a lie. Larry's the one that's up next, but I want to hear stories number 1 and 3 from Nate, because that is those were his truths. So let's hear it, Nate. Tell me about this dinner.
Yeah. 30 guys.
30 guys.
30 guys who take photos of toys.
You
get that Marwin movie. That's what
that sounds like. That's like the start of, like, at the beginning of a rom-com, the nerd guy that she's not supposed to be interested in. That's where she, like, first bumps into him.
Yeah, he takes pictures of toys.
Yeah, it's like She's Out of Your League, like part 2.
Exactly.
Yeah, 40-year-old virgin, maybe part 2. But yeah, okay,
that is Nate.
Clint says sausage. Clint says Sausage Fest. I'm gonna go ahead and spin it to Sausage Party 2, the sequel. Bunch of toy photographers.
And the reason that we know this is true is because Nate has a photo of this dinner, which I should say this, Nate. This is not your first time doing this, right?
No, I did this last year too. So yeah, there's 2 girls in the photo, one of which is my fiance, who was there to support me. And then there's another photographer that was a girl that was there from out of country.
Cool. So that's not the important part, though. You got to meet up with some friends, right? Some Instagram friends.
So tell about that.
So the guys know, and if you've heard me talk about this before, I do toy photography on Instagram. My account's @figurefan_Nate. And I've met a lot of really cool guys through that, a lot of accounts that I followed for a long time. And they're also fellow collectors too. They all like to go to San Diego Comic-Con and get all the exclusives. And that was kind of like one of my things I was after, all the NECA and the Mezco exclusives. And, I kept seeing a lot of these guys throughout the con. Shout out to Nose Rain and Black Series and Swit Picks and all the guys that we ran into, AVP Toys. So one of the guys, Richie, he usually sends a DM out to everybody, about a month before we all get together. It's just like, hey, who's going? Do you guys want to, set up a dinner? So we set up a dinner on Thursday night at Coronado at a place called Nicky Rotten's. It's kind of like just a generic sports bar. It's pretty cool. But so about 30 of us got together and we got to meet each other. And there's some guys I haven't met before, some guys I had seen the year prior and I got to see again. And it's just a big group of friends. It's really cool. It's a very, very supportive community of guys that are just all about toys and talking toy photography. And we share ideas and just, we're there having a good time, drinking beer. And it's a lot of fun. So I did that last year, and I'll probably do it again if I go next year. It's one of those things that's like a tradition for me now for San Diego Comic-Con, and it's a ton of fun. So I really had a good time that night, and I got to see those guys multiple times throughout the con, so it was really cool.
It's always nice to be able to get together with like-minded individuals. You share that same hobby, so that's really, really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. Like you said, you kind of just get to geek out and everybody just knows what you're talking about and you can, talk about the toys that you're after and the new figs that you're going to shoot. And, my fiance is just looking at her phone the whole time, basically. Every once in a while she's talking to somebody, but for the most part, just kind of hanging out. But she's a trooper. I had a lot of fun, though, and it was a really good time. And thanks to all the guys for the kind words and coming out to say hello. It was really cool to see all of you. So my other truth, which was kind of random, I didn't actually plan this to happen, but I was walking the floor, and we're kind of going through. I'm finally taking time to look through all the different booths, and we walked by the WB booth, and I just happened to look to my right, and I'm like, wait, is that James McAvoy? And there's like there's a big crowd forming, but they had just sat down, and they were starting a signing for It Chapter 2, and I kind of just got, one of those stardom things. You see all these celebrities, I start looking across the booth.
That's Professor X.
Yeah, you got James McAvoy and you got Jessica Chastain, and then you have Bill Hader and James Ransone, which I don't know much about, but he's in the cast. I don't think Bill Skarsgård was there. I didn't see him. But they
gotta hide him away until after the show airs.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. They were interacting with fans, and I tried to get in the line, but they capped it really fast because I wanted to get some signatures too. But it was just kind of like one of those random events that happen, and it makes it makes Comic-Con that much more special because a lot of the guys, we all have at least one story of a celebrity that we saw. And if you go to Comic-Con, there's a really good chance you're going to run into somebody that you've seen before on TV or in a movie. And that just makes the experience that much cooler. Sometimes you plan it, sometimes you don't. But I got to take a photo of the cast, and we shared it on our STS Guys Instagram account. And it's just one of those memories I won't forget. It was really cool. On top of that, I also got to see some of the Game of Thrones cast that following day in the exact same spot. That one I kind of knew was coming, so I was hunting over there, but I still didn't make it in line for the signing. They capped them so quick. But I got to see Macy Williams and the guy that she's Arya on the show. I got to see Jaime Lannister. I don't know what his name is.
Nikolaj something.
Okay. Yeah. And then the guy that plays Grey Worm, the guy that plays Varys. I only know their show names. I don't know a lot of the actors' names. But that was just one of those cool events to happen.
Very cool. We walked by, not quite as exciting as Game of Thrones, but we walked by the SpongeBob SquarePants signing at the Nickelodeon booth, which is kind of cool because, like Tom Kenny, the voice of SpongeBob, and the dude who does the voice of Patrick, were like doing their voices to the people outside of the line too. So it was kind of cool. Like they were interacting because there was a little like gap in the line. So they were looking up, saying hi to the kids and stuff as they, should. So yeah, that was really fun. You just never know what you're going to walk by.
Yeah. And like you posted a video on our YouTube, but Greg Sipes was there. And I had to walk in front of his booth, and I took a shot of him as he's sitting down to do some signings.
I ran into Tara Strong on her way to a signing.
Yep. Right. Whole lot of Teen Titans.
Yeah, we did.
Between us, we
all saw them.
We saw all 5 Teen Titans. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because I ran into Robin and Starfire, the voices of Robin in Starfire, on the way to get a lift to the airport. Scott saw Carrie Payne, Cyborg, and Tara Strong, Raven, and Nate saw Greg Sipes, Beast Boy. So yeah, we amongst all of us, we saw the entire cast of Teen Titans go.
Well, and cool. You saw Scott
Melville,
the voice of Robin at your guys' hotel.
Yep, which was very cool. So especially for having a kid who loves Teen Titans Go, it was pretty cool to be able to run into him. He was super nice to Ian, and we talked about back to school and the con and the panel, and he talked to us probably for a good 5-10 minutes. He was super nice. So shout out to Scott Melville.
Nice.
All right,
Scott Melville.
My turn.
It's your turn.
So it's Larry's last chance for the chat.
Last chance for 2 truths and a lie to win an STS Guys enamel pin, limited edition, hand numbered, blah, blah, blah. All right. So
let's go. So Larry, 2 truths, 1 lie. Go.
All right. I wrote mine down too. So 2 truths and a lie. Number 1, I sang karaoke for the first time ever on the San Diego Convention Center exhibit floor. Number 2, I ran into WWE superstar Zack Ryder 2 times. Number 3, I got a hug from Mark Hamill. Yeah, that's right. Luke Skywalker. Which one's the lie? 1, 2, or 3? What do you say, chat?
Guess first, get the pin.
Does Clint's 3 count? Or did he say it before? Because he knew my 1 and 2 were...
To be fair, he said it before, and then he turned around and said it again. So he did. I see. Nice flyer, and then he says 3. So yeah, Clint is...
Wait. He reneged. Now it's a 2. I think that disregards this.
Actually, I'm thinking about it, Clint. You already have a pin.
Reroll.
How about let's see here.
Well, so the next I see Judge Jack, but Judge Jack already won 1 too. Judge Jack, are you okay if we give your pin to Funkos with Chris? I know Judge Jack's a good guy. So
we'll make sure we spread them around.
I'll send you something extra, Judge Jack, and we will hook Funkos with Chris up with a pin.
Yeah, he says this
Does that sound good?
Funkos with Chris.
All right,
you got the pin.
All right. So who won the third one? I've got Tyler. I got Judge Jack. Ed. Yeah, Ed won. I'm making a list, guys. This is the first time we've ever written down anything in this podcast. And Funkos with Chris. Congrats, guys. Super excited for you all to get this pin. Again, if you're an audio listener or if you're in the chat and you didn't win, you still want one, if you head over to SoundCloud, once this episode's posted, which will probably be sometime tomorrow, go ahead and log in, comment butt wasted anywhere on that episode, and we'll randomly pick one next week to win the 5th pin. Cool.
Congrats, everybody.
Stories. Yeah, congrats, guys. I'm really happy. I'm really glad you joined it and want our pin too. I think they turned out awesome. So I hope you guys really like them.
We are very big fans of them.
Yeah. So I've never sang karaoke. I'm relatively shy. Surprise, surprise. And I hate not a big singer either. But the Cartoon Network booth had Steven Universe karaoke. It was like set up like the Beach City stage. It was a really cool booth. Cartoon Network always does an awesome booth. And as a father of a 10-year-old, we always end up spending a lot of time at the Cartoon Network booth. So friend of the podcast, Ian Doge, junior STS Guys member, wanted to do karaoke. So we got up on stage in front of tens of thousands of people and sang the long version of the Steven Universe theme song.
We are the Crystal Gems.
Yeah, we are the Crystal Gems.
Yeah.
It was really fun. I love the music in Steven Universe. Like we listen to it together as a family a lot, but I occasionally listen to it when I'm driving around in the car by myself too. So that soundtrack is fire. So it was really fun, really cool experience. I'm glad I got to do it. That was my preview night. We waited in line for a while for that. After I didn't make it into the Goldberg's autograph signing, we were going to Plan B, but Plan B got halted when we saw the Steven Universe booth. So we hung out there, and like I said, had a really good time.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is that fire noise for Clint? There you go. Larry.
Yeah.
What was Plan B? Like Like I go through because I know you said it got sidetracked.
Yeah, like I don't like we were gonna maybe head over to Fugitive or Fig Pin or try to find Jeremy because we had split off from Jeremy. Like I don't know, it wasn't that though, but it was fun. Again, like as cool as the exclusives are, and as much as you like planning stuff, like all the really cool stuff that I feel like I did, except for maybe one thing, wasn't planned at all. Like it just happened. Like Jeremy said, we got into the Funko X SDCC booth. That wasn't planned. That was awesome. I got to sing. Yeah, you like that? I got to sing. I ran into Zack Ryder twice. The first time was when Jeremy texted me and be like, dude, Funko booth open now. And Ian and I were booking it from the main Funko booth to the Funko X SDCC booth. And I had to stop in my tracks because I saw Zack Ryder hanging out in front of the Mattel booth. And I am definitely a major mark. I love his podcast, Major Wrestling Figure Podcast. It is awesome. So I had to stop, got a blurry selfie with Zack Ryder, fanboyed out on him pretty hard for like 30 seconds, gushing about how much I love his podcast. And then I continued to book it to the Funko booth.
That's awesome.
Then
wait,
go ahead.
So
I was gonna say, you had told me like probably a week and a half, 2 weeks before. You had specifically said, Nate, if you see Zack Ryder walking around, you need to ask for this pin because I really want this pin. So when you told me that you had seen him yourself, that made my day. That was awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was stoked. I'm not the biggest wrestling fan, but I do love Zack Ryder. And then leaving the convention center the next day on Thursday, Zach and his tag team partner / co-host of this podcast, Kurt Hawkins, were walking into the convention center, and I'm like, dude, Kurt Hawkins, like, you're awesome. I love you. I love your podcast. Do you have those enamel pins? So he gave me an enamel pin, which is awesome, right? It's the Stomp in Paradise because this is the summer of Stomp. And it's an awesome pin. I'm super stoked to have it. I'm like, it's really nice to meet you. I ran into Zach yesterday, but he didn't have the pins. And he's like, oh yeah, well, Zach's right over there. So I turned around and like Zack Ryder was right there. He's like, hey, you got a pin. I'm like, yeah, awesome. Thanks, man. So I got to say hi to Zach again. It was quick, but it was super awesome. They were very nice to us. It was, again, just really cool to just happen to run into them both times.
Just one of those things that makes Comic-Con that much cooler.
Yeah, exactly. Like, as far as exclusives go, like, that was the one exclusive I wanted, and you couldn't even get it at a booth. You just had to randomly find these two guys. So I thought there was no chance that I was going to run into them, but fate was on my side, and I got to officially meet Zack Ryder.
So
awesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I didn't get a hug from Mark Hamill, but Mark Hamill was at Funko Fun Days.
And he did wave at us from his car.
Yes, when we were in line outside of the Manchester Grand Hyatt, Mark Hamill drove up in a blacked out SUV, but he rolled down the window and he's like, "Hey, everybody, I'm Mark Hamill." So that was pretty exciting just to see him pull up. We're all like, you kind of double take for a second. And like, you don't even realize what's happening. Like, Luke Skywalker is yelling out a window hi at you. And it was pretty surreal. And then Jeremy started connecting the dots. And he's like, dude, I think Mark Hamill's going to be at Fun Days. And Jeremy was right. Mark Hamill was at Fun Days. He came out, introduced, Brian Mariotti introduced him, announced that they're going to have an official Mark Hamill, not Luke Skywalker, a Mark Hamill Funko Pop. Which is really cool too. So I think we're all gonna have to get that one just because we were there for the official announcement.
Yeah. And Clinton is saying that he got a high five from him. I'm guessing that's
nice
when he was running down the I guess aisle. I don't know what you'd call that, the stage.
The runway.
Yeah,
when he ran down the stage at first. So that's super cool.
That is
yes,
really
very
awesome.
cool. That's awesome, Clint. Yeah. And fun, like, we haven't talked about Fun Days yet. Like, somehow that didn't make it into our Two Truths and a Lie, but Jeremy, Scott, Ian, and I all went to Funko Fun Days, and it was awesome, as expected, right? Like, yeah, we went home with some cool stuff. That Golden Tiki Freddy's pretty awesome. Jeremy and I did an unboxing video that is up on our YouTube channel. You can check out all the stuff we got, right? But the best part was, like Jeremy said, we met up with Talkin' Pops, Pop Collectors Alliance. That's where Geek Responsibility was, and Secondary Heroes, and a friend in the chat, Clint. We got to see him. It was super cool. Like, I hate to start naming names because Manny, because I know I'm going to miss somebody. So sorry if I miss you. Shout out to Vin Lee. That dude's awesome. So it was really good to see him. What was that?
Said shout out to Vin.
Yeah, it was really good to see Vin. But yeah, we met so many cool people. Nicola was there, and her husband Scott. We got to see her. Again, I know I'm going to miss somebody. If I missed you, I'm totally sorry. It was good to see everybody, but like, we saw them, saw the rest of the Funko friends I've made over the years. It's kind of like Nate's dinner.
Larry knows a surprising amount of people over there.
Yeah, it's like the only place in the world that I can go, right? It's the Fun Days line where I can walk by and people say my name. It's pretty surreal. So
yeah, like every like 30 or 40 people in line, they would stop to say hi to Larry as we were walking up. It was surreal.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. I didn't get to hang out quite as much as I wanted because we got in line a little bit later than originally planned, and security was pretty tight, probably because Mark Hamill was there. So I actually tried to say hi to some friends up at the front, and I didn't get to hang out as long as I wanted to. So I know I missed some people there too. As soon as you get home, right, and you're scrolling through Instagram, I'm like, I didn't see this person. I didn't see that person. But hopefully there's next year.
I will add, let me add something about Fun Days that I wanted to bring up. It was Tiki themed, so we were all wearing like Hawaiian shirts, and we were decked out. We had these light up leis that Jeremy had brought. We took a photo, and as Clint and Ed and a few other people in the chat have mentioned, we did end up in the official Funko Fun Days promotional, like, here's what it was video, the recap video. About 20 seconds in, you will see me, Larry, Jeremy, and Ian Doge in all the Fun Days glory.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And it was awesome. And like, we were supposed to sit by Talking Pops and Pop Collectors Alliance and Ben and Chuck, but I don't know. Like last year we got split up, and this year we got split up too. But it was still the four of us, the STS crew. So it was cool. We had a good table, and really, like, the best part of this year's Fun Days was being able to be there with Scott and Jeremy and Ian. Like, it was cool. Like, the first couple times I went, it was only me and like one other person, my friend Matt, and then Ian, and then Jeremy last year. It was cool to have all four of us at the same table. We had a really great table made up with some new people. People who sat next to Scott were really cool. Those girls who sat next to me, one of them's in that video too. So I thought that was kind of cool. I don't remember her name, but they were really nice. We had a really great table. Awesome. I saw, who else did I see? I saw Rob Schwartz. I saw Wilkie. I saw Ben Butcher. Saw the who's who of Funko, just hanging out either around the hotel or at Fun Days. What Saturday we ran into Mike Becker and talked to him for like a good 10 minutes.
Yeah, so we did that.
And shout out to Mike Becker, because he's a really good dude, man. Like, if you don't know the creator of Funko, if you've seen Making Fun, the story of Funko on Netflix, like, it's mostly about Mike Becker. We've had the pleasure of meeting him a couple times. He's always been really cool to us. So it's a great dude, man.
Well, then I will have to say, like, I can attest, like, he was super cool. I had brought my daughter to something. She just had turned 5. So, and he sat and like interacted with her, and we did like a couple of videos that she was in, that he was like a part of, and he was just a super great guy.
That's awesome. And at the Designer Con.
Out at Designer Con. Where he was doing stuff.
He said he remembered us from Designer Con. So I don't know.
Yeah, he let Ian walk up there before it even opened.
Exactly. He spent a lot of time with Ian, and we actually ran into him like on the walkway between the hotel and the convention center on like Thursday too. And Ian ran up to him and he's like, "Hey, do you remember me from Designer Con?" So even if he didn't, he was really cool about it. He's super patient with Ian. And then we ran into him again, and that's when we got to talk to him for a long time, because he was waiting. He was headed over to Conan. Which is really cool too.
Yeah, a few things about that. I said, well, one, I said he created a secret handshake with your son. So that was the
official Funko secret handshake. So next time we run into him, we're supposed to do the secret handshake, so he remembers us and knows that we're cool.
Yeah. Well, then I said during that interaction.
So you guys are gonna have to teach us that, right?
We need to make this. Scott.
We need to make this a real thing. Like, I know he was just messing around, like, but I really want let's make the secret handshake a real thing.
We'll practice.
No, well then I said after during that interaction too, like I said, he was with America's Got Talent star, who was also at Fun Days, Angelica Hale, who sang during Fun Days, because like I said, he was actually escorting her to the Conan O'Brien show. So like I said, that entire interaction, like I said, was like 10 minutes, but it was awesome.
It was pretty cool.
Well, kind of speaking of like cool interactions, the hotel that I said that Larry and I stayed at was probably the best hotel that you could probably ever stay at if you want to basically run into, the who's who of who basically is an actor on TV. So very first thing we did, so when we come back down from the hotel one time, I said we start walking out of the elevator, and then right as we get past the elevators, I do a double take, and I look back, and I'm like, and I look at Larry, I'm like, I think that was I think that was the dude from the Goldbergs. And I'm like, and then I think it was like Sam Lerner. I'm like, and then sure enough, it was. Well, then I said, then we turn our eyes towards the main lobby, and then Brett Deer was there, who plays basically one of the one of the main teachers in the Goldberg spinoff, Schooled.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, and
He was really nice. So we
super
like,
nice.
right? We both love the Goldbergs and School, so we had to stop and say hi. But he was really cool. We're like, "Oh, dude, we love your show. It's awesome." And he's like, "Oh, what's your name?" I'm like, "My name's Brett." He was like super nice and super goofy, but it was really cool, man. I haven't really randomly ran into any celebrities really before at Comic-Con like that, and actually had a chance to talk to them. I've seen people like in passing, but like we actually had a few real interactions this time, and it was a lot of fun.
It was definitely a ton of fun, like I said. And then there was, like I said, yeah, everyone stayed at our hotel. Like I said, it was actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
That's it. That's the hotel where I ran into Cyborg.
Yep. Booyah!
So almost all of our celebrity sightings were at the Manchester.
Yeah,
It's awesome.
No,
epic stories.
I think it's like I said, it's one of those things where it's an awesome event, and like I said, it was just it was 4 days that were literally, like I said, just came and gone so fast, but literally created probably some of the best experiences that I've had. One, because like I said, well, I'm gonna get sappy here for a second. One, because I got to see my friends who I said since I haven't really seen since I moved away.
Sure.
And then two, like I said, just creating those awesome super memories that we had, by all the different experiences that we had. We may have had, like I said, a lot of these experiences, separate, but it's one of those things that's like just super awesome to kind of come back together and actually talk about those experiences. And we literally have, like I said, the photos and the videos of those experiences as well, so that way we can share, I said, that these experiences with each other. So I said, awesome, guys. I had literally so much fun at San Diego this year, like I said, and I said it was great seeing you guys in person again. But then, like I said, also, like I said, thanks for the memories. Like I said, it was a good time.
Yeah,
So
it was definitely
agree.
great to see you. I always wish that I had more time, and I feel like sometimes I'm separate from what the other guys are doing because they're all into Funko. I'm kind of into the NECA and the Mezco action figures. So I try to meet up when I can, and I just wish I would have had more time with the guys. But it was awesome that we were all there together, and like Jeremy said, we all kind of get doing our own thing. We all have our awesome experiences, but to be able to kind of come to back and talk about it and know that we all got to experience that's really cool.
Yeah. Well, so I saw Nate on Wednesday before preview night, and then I didn't see Nate again the entire con. It's not a knock on you. It's just that there's so much going on that sometimes it's hard to meet up, because when Nate's available, like I might have been in a panel or something, right? Like it's just hard to miss schedules. Like the one thing I always think is, like, there's tens of thousands of people who go to San Diego Comic-Con. There's tens of thousands different ways to experience that con, right? Like nobody, unless you're sticking together like glue, like nobody has the same experience. It's just so cool that there's so many cool things you can do, and everybody just gets to stick to their fandom, or meet up with their toy photographer friends or their Funko friends, and like there's just everything just kind of merges in San Diego.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's so many fun things to do. Like, if you guys are, ever thinking about going, I think we all can recommend it. 2 thumbs way up. It's one of those experiences that you just can't really describe enough. You just have to experience it for yourself. It's just so much fun. But yeah, if you guys are interested to see what we got at Comic-Con, you need to check out our channel, because we've been posting a lot of content. Jeremy and Larry posted their box of fun hauls. They got some really awesome pops. I posted the NECA Turtles exclusive. I posted the Mezco toys, Gomez and Gordon with the bat signal. We posted the Hall H panel with Jeremy. Larry got a Toy Tokyo bundle.
Yeah.
We got the Greg Sipes karaoke video. We got a lot of really great content. So check out our Instagram, check out our YouTube if you guys want to see kind of some of the stuff that we got to experience at San Diego.
Yeah, we haven't posted this many videos on YouTube in a very long time. So yeah, stsguys.online, or just search the STS Guys on YouTube, and we should pop right up. Check out all that cool stuff.
Yeah, and that's one thing I'm super happy about is preview night. And I felt bad because I was texting with Larry and Jeremy, and they weren't able to get in some of the booths, and I'm just sitting there waiting in line, for Mezco or NECA. But I was happy when you guys got at least into the Funko X SDCC booth. But it was super successful for me at Comic-Con. I got pretty much everything I was after: the Turtles, the Batman versus Predator set, Superman, Alien. I went ham on action figures, but that's really the only time you get a chance to get stuff like that in person. So I had to go big or go home.
Yeah, and you can buy it online, but it's a whole lot more fun if you get to buy it in person.
Yeah, and you get to check out the booths. That's one of the cool things about standing in line is you get to take, I was taking pictures of everything. I was just so into the moment. It was really cool. I had a lot of fun just doing that.
Like I said, we complain about the lines, but honestly, sometimes the line experience is just it's an experience on itself because you actually get to meet some cool people.
Yeah.
In line, because honestly, like I said, kind of going back to Larry and Scott's conversation, like the line to get into Funko Fun Days, like I said, was one of the greatest experiences ever because you actually get to interact. I said basically with everyone there. And I said basically you get to create new friendships. I said you get to basically talk about your experiences, and I said you get to interact with some really, really cool people.
Mm-hmm. It seems like every line I was in, I was making friends with the people behind me and in front of me, and we were just talking the whole time.
Yeah, and like honestly, like I said, I had a couple things I wanted to do, maybe a couple things I wanted to try to buy too. Looking at you, Macho Man, but. Like I got that one on pre-order, so it doesn't matter. But like there's some things I wasn't able to get that I wanted, and like really like in that moment, the disappointment kind of sucks. But as soon as you like move on to the next thing, or as soon as you get home, like all that fades. Like I don't remember the fails. I just remember the good times from this past weekend. So you just can't, right? You can't let the negativity or the disappointment stick with you. You just got to focus on the you move from a bad thing, another good thing's going to pop up. We didn't even talk about that. I got lucky and I got a ticket to the Rick and Morty signing on Saturday at the Adult Swim offsite. Like I literally met the entire cast of Rick and Morty, including the creator, Dan Harmon, right? Co-creator Dan Harmon, who also made Community. Justin Roiland was there. The voice of Summer and the dad was there, as well as the voice of the mom, Sarah Chalk, who I love from Scrubs. So I got to meet Elliot from Scrubs. I got a selfie with her. She signed my Elliot Scrubs pop. That was the highlight of my weekend. That's probably, aside from Fun Day stuff, that's probably my favorite all-time San Diego Comic-Con moment. So that was pretty epic, dude. I love Scrubs. It was so cool to get a chance to meet her. And she was super nice too. They all took time with everybody who was in line, signed a couple things, said hi, took pictures. That entire cast was super cool. I'm so glad I got to do that.
That's really cool.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Jeremy, like we talked about hanging out with people. I believe Jeremy met up with a fan on Friday who I think deserves a shout out.
Yes. So I met up with a fan. So shout out to Moonchild Saris on Instagram. So shout out to her. Like I said, it was good hanging out.
Shout out to Moonchild.
What up?
No, it was, like I said, this entire like I said experience was literally just, like I said, just one great thing after another. And literally it's if you get a chance to go to San Diego, like I said, it's something that you have to do.
It's the shit.
Well, and I laugh at these guys every year. Especially, I'm going to call it Nate specifically. Nate's always like, "Hey, you know what? I'm not going back. I'm taking a break." I said, "I'm not going to." I'm calling it right now. I said he may say that now, and he may say that, but that'll never happen.
We know it's a lie, Nate. We know it's a lie.
We know
I can't keep myself away. 4 years going now.
You can't keep yourself away because, I said, it's one of those things that turns out to be basically some of the greatest experiences ever.
Yeah,
so,
you
Nate,
just.
Larry, Scott, you know what? I will see you guys all next year.
Yes. So we got home Sunday, like afternoon. My wife came to me Monday morning, like all serious, and she's like, I want you to go to San Diego Comic-Con next year. Like, you really enjoy it, right? It makes you happy. I want you to go to San Diego Comic-Con.
That's really cool.
So I'm like, I don't know. So we'll see. But I'm like, if I go, then Jeremy was right. but I'm
I
okay with that too.
It's
think we're just gonna have to go. You know, it's just one
Yeah,
of those things.
I can't not like. I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just a thing now, man.
Yeah,
This is my 6th year, 6 out of 7 years. Like, I kind of don't. I wouldn't know what to do with myself that weekend if I wasn't there. So, we'll see.
Yeah, it's different. Like I said, looking on the outside in, like I said, especially when your closest friends are there, like it's just, but if you, so even though you don't hang out with each other, like I said, it's still awesome. Just like
well, then like I spend a lot of my time on Instagram. Like everyone I know from Instagram's there. Like so even if you're anywhere close to San Diego, like it's cool to just come hang out. Even if you don't have a badge, or maybe you get, like there's other cool things you can do too.
Well, and that's what I was gonna say is kind of along the same lines. Like the cool thing about this convention is it's probably not this cool for people that like live there, but it's in San Diego. There's a ton of shit to do in and around San Diego that is very different. Like, I think all of us went over to Coronado Island. I went and spent Saturday at the beach after I was at the con.
Yeah.
Like, there's so much to do, and it's at a great time of year to be there.
Yeah, we went to the beach on Tuesday. Well, our friend Moonchild Saris lives in San Diego, and she was hanging out at all the offsites. I know she posted on Instagram. She went to the Watchmen offsite. She went to that Fox Fair with the big Fox Ferris wheel, Fox TV. I feel like if you want to experience it and you're into that kind of stuff, and you're in San Diego, you absolutely come downtown and hang out. It would be a good time.
Yeah, it takes over all of downtown.
There's
so many people always around there. The bars are themed. There's restaurants that are themed. I mean, everybody is into it down there. It's just a huge party.
Like,
maybe a giant inflatable unicorn.
Yeah,
it's like maybe New York Comic Con's like close to the same size, like attendees wise, but like San Diego's the only one that takes over like the entire area, and that's really what's so cool about it is. It's literally like you're living in this Comic-Con world, even when you're outside of the convention center. Like the hotel we used to stay at, they decorated the elevators like with WB DC TV stuff, right? The Flash and all that. Like you can't turn around without seeing something Comic-Con related that weekend. It's so cool.
No, it's epic.
It's the best.
Epic.
It's the best.
It's the best. You know what else is the best?
What else is the best?
Podcoin.
What
is Podcoin, you ask? It's the podcast app that pays you to listen to podcasts. That's right. You can listen to all your favorite podcasts on Podcoin, like the STS Guys, like Talking Pops, like Pop Collectors Alliance, like DC Figures and Collectibles Podcast. We're all on Podcoin. And you earn credits for every minute that you listen to us, and then you can turn those credits into real rewards. Podcoin, available on iOS and Android. It's the best.
It's
the best.
It's the best.
I don't know if that's where we were going, but it seemed appropriate.
That's a good segue.
Should we talk about, like, there's something pretty special coming up here within the next, like, couple weeks, right? We're only a couple weeks away from episode 100 of the STS Guys podcast.
That's right.
We're less than a month from our 2-year anniversary.
The big centennial.
Triple digits, baby.
Crazy. Whoa. Crazy.
Isn't that nuts?
Yeah.
Like I said,
we've done this for 100 times.
Like I said, 100 episodes. I said we're coming up on 100 episodes. There's never in a million years that I think that we'd get to go to San Diego Comic-Con out of this journey that we've been on. But 2, we made it to 100. I said we're gonna be making it to 100 episodes. That's nuts.
It's crazy.
Yes,
that's so crazy. Cool. So crazy.
Right from the day we were sitting around Jeremy's kitchen table on one mic, with the computer crashing halfway through, and
having to move to a new location.
Yep.
And retiring old talent to bring in new talent such as Nate.
Oh, exactly right. The evolution.
It's
crazy, man.
It is crazy. But you know what? We just don't want to celebrate, just by us being, getting to 100. We want to celebrate with basically everyone who's basically ever experienced the STS Guys. So what does this mean? So
herpes.
It's the best.
Something's getting transmitted.
But you know what is getting transmitted? I said we will have a special something for every listener that basically wants this special something. Larry is in the middle of creating this now. I said we should hopefully have it in time for episode 100.
You'll probably see one soon right behind me.
Yeah. So you guys will basically have access to the one, the only anniversary poster from the STS Guys.
What?
So
like, that's probably going to be expensive, right?
No, you know what? Everyone's getting one for free. So
Sweet.
you want? I said anybody. I said any. So there's no winning this. There's no contest. No nothing. There might be a special contest if you do take a selfie with your poster. So we, hint, hint. You might want to hang up your poster.
So is that the new flyer?
No, we're not doing flyers. We're doing full on poster.
No, I mean like the
Kinda like the
extra
flyer.
entries.
Yeah.
But that is going to be the entry. Details to come. Details to come.
Details to come.
But
But
it's
going
gonna
to
be
be
cool.
questions about
Everyone-
what Scott's going to eat.
everyone,
I like the whole Scott eats cake. That's fine.
Scott eats
I'll eat-
30-year-old cake, hottest pepper. What's Scott going to eat this time? We're getting a lot of interest in this.
Yeah. So
If you guys don't remember, Scott ate 30-year-old Batman cereal the last
and then
time
made
we had a
everyone else
big-
do it.
Yeah, and then we all did it, and it was horrible.
no, you know what? It's my challenge. I'm gonna find something weird and Irish for you to eat.
Oh my god. Perfect, right? Perfect timing.
Oh yeah. Well, before you do it, you got to figure out like, can we get it here in the U.S.? But yeah, we'll find something. I say that we try to do like, I'll eat like the hot pepper thing. Like maybe we'll do something like that. Worst cases, we'll think of something fun for the 100.
We got time.
We
I
got
think
time.
if we stay with one episode a week, I think it's like September 14th. So it'll probably be September, give or take, before we're at 100. So we got a little time to figure out the poster. The timing, like it might not be on episode 100 when we're ready to give it away, because I need to know what the episode 100 thumbnail is. So
Yes.
So we got some details to work out, but like big things coming from the STS guys. If you guys have any ideas of what you want to see, let us know in the chat or drop us a DM on the Instagram or something. Like we're totally down for ideas. And like I can't give specifics, but we've got a couple other pretty big things in the works that I just have to finish locking down. So I got some really cool emails earlier today. So
what Larry's talking about, I am super excited for.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens. Year 3 of the STS guys, we're going to try to make it bigger and better. Doing our best, man. So we appreciate everybody who's listening right now, everyone who's ever listened. You guys are awesome. Thank you for all the double taps on our Instagram pictures. Thank you for all the comments. Thank you to everybody who came by and said hi to us in San Diego. It was so cool to be able to see people interact. Like, no lies. I was a little bit down on the podcast. These guys don't even know this. I was a little bit down on the podcast a couple weeks ago and like just some other things in general. But then seeing you guys in person and just hearing people say that they enjoyed our podcast and all that. Like one guy we're talking to in lines like, I like listening to your voice. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
thanks. But yeah, you guys,
random fan.
You guys rejuvenated my interest and love for this podcast, and we're gonna totally knock it out. And it's gonna be bigger and better and super and mega than ever before.
No, like I said, we've gotten to a point with, like I said, you guys as fans where like it's where I had someone recognize me from the STS guys, someone that I had never met before.
Shout out to Jeremy.
Shout out to basically the other Jeremy that's out there for listening to the podcast. I said it was awesome hanging out with you right outside the Funko booth. That was such a great interaction. But you know what? It's one of those things to where we are, we're here because I said because you guys are here, and so we definitely appreciate all of you.
It's fun. It gives us an excuse to talk to each other, but especially now that Jeremy's in Texas, like it's fun. Like I love making all the pictures for our Instagram and the thumbnails and my stock photo recording tonight stuff. Like it's a good time, man. I hope you guys all like it.
It's definitely a good time.
So about that super mega giveaway.
Wait. Did you say super mega giveaway?
He did say only super mega giveaway. Where's the Stranger Things fucker?
I think he said super mega giveaway.
I did say Super Mega giveaway, but I should have said Super Mega Stranger Things prize pack giveaway. Video announcement coming really soon later tonight. Sorry for the tease.
We thought it would be ready, but Jeremy said it's his video is not rendering, so it will be up later.
No, it will. It's not that. It's basically what it is. It's I was delayed, coming home to be able to draw a winner, to be able to present to everyone tonight.
Share appropriately, right?
Yeah, to share appropriately. And then like I said, shout out to work for today.
Hey,
Yay! Work
life,
on your unexpected
regular
problems.
life.
Yeah. But if you guys need pop protectors for all your recently acquired San Diego pops, you should really check out ChumiStore.com and check out what other pops they might have for sale, because
And
you can
other
save
toys.
yourself 10%. I'm saying 10% using code STS Guys. Get the pop protectors, get some pops, protect your investment, and go to ChumiStore.com.
Right, the only pop protectors the STS guys trust to bring their Funko Fun Days pops back home safely.
Jeremy, talk so you can hold that up.
No, yeah, they are awesome protectors. Like they are super awesome protectors. Like I said, right now protecting this HR Puff and stuff. Shout out,
Dude, I
banana
love the
splits.
fact that we saw somebody
Nice.
dressed up as HR Puff and stuff when we were at Comic-Con.
Really?
When Jeremy and I were walking around, I was like, wait, is that dude from the kids show? HR Puff and stuff? He's like, yes, I believe that is.
It's back, baby.
Dude.
Sid and Marty Krofft for life.
All right. So I think that's where we end it for tonight.
Good episode, guys.
Good episode.
Yes. Went a little over, but that was fun.
So, Larry, send us away.
Oh, yeah. So
Fill us away.
real quick, if you didn't know, you can follow us on Instagram at STS Guys. We're on Twitter at STS Guys. And as promised, I posted one picture on Facebook during San Diego Comic-Con at the STS Guys. Actually, Jeremy did it. Surprise, surprise. And I'm Larry from the STS Guys.
Have a good night, everybody.
Have a good night.
Nate,
Wait, oh,
you're missing
That wasn't-
Nate. Sorry, I don't think that was a sign
That
off.
wasn't
right?
the sign-off. Jeremy has to do for episode
Just no one
93.
said
I was
anything,
like,
so I
no,
jumped
no,
in.
no. Where's your shilling like a villain?
Oh, yeah.
I was waiting for
Oh,
shit, and he
crap.
didn't say it, so I was like, I guess it's over.
Whoops.
Yeah, Nate had a fail. So for episode 93, I've been Jeremy.
Hey, it's Larry.
I have been Nate.
And I'm Scott.
And we are the STS Guys. Have a great night, everyone. Bye.
I like that.